Hi, welcome again to Storytime with Dave Booker. I appreciate you being back here and listening into another series. This time, Gods and More Gods. Today, we're going to be the gods are on vacation. We've done Don's Dominion, but the gods have had a hard year and decided it's time to take a break. So let's see how the gods take a break. For a while, everyone was content to refamiliarize themselves with their home. Going into the rooms, they refurbished them according to their individual tastes. A short rest, and everyone met in the dining room for lunch. To their surprise, Berthold waited on them with his customary civility. His presence astonished them speechless. After a luxurious luncheon, they sat in comfortable chairs with feet up and discussed their progress. Peter, who could never be still even while relaxing, was first. I think we're going to be able to keep on the schedule. I had to be careful on progressing too quickly. We're a going concern, though. Farming and all that are up and running and using sticks to plant and score. I wish we could have started them off with more, but the range they gave us really limited things. Don grunted agreement. Rudimentary tools were all right. And I have some of my more intelligent people acting as scientists. I think by having them focus on that exclusive one project will lead to advances in other areas. Gladys interrupted. The fact that a group of her people had already separated from the main was upsetting, and she had to get her pain off her chest. I don't understand what I did wrong. She hung her head as tears fell. I tried to give them the best start I could. I gave them everything that we were allowed to. I showed them loving kindness, and yet some decided to go off on their own. They didn't want my help. In fact, they said I gave too much. How can a god give too much? She looked around bewildered. Gary, for once in his life, came to comfort her. Sometimes people just need to challenge themselves. It wasn't anything you did or didn't do. It was in their soul that was the type of person they were. They would have done the same if they had come to any of our locations. She appreciatively grasped his hand. He was right, and she felt it deep in her heart. Gary sat on the floor near her, leaning back against the chair. He stretched out his legs. I think my group are on the right track, thanks to a kick in the pants from Gladys. She got me up off my ass and got me busy. I don't know what I would have done if she hadn't. Gus ruffled his hair and grinned back as he turned his head to smile at her. Larry felt warm, and it wasn't just from the blazing fire. He held a marshmallow towards. There was a camaraderie amongst the gods that made this place home. And I think we're all on track, too. I have a schedule, and we'll give it a nudge anytime we come close to missing a tick. These people want to succeed, and all I have to do is keep them heading in the right direction. Ash was looking sullen, sitting in his little corner. Somehow I got linked up with my people, so I am dependent on them for my strength. If I don't keep them happy, they don't pray, and I get weak. Can you believe it? I have to keep them happy. I thought we were the gods. It's going to be a struggle on who has the reins, I can tell you. I swear if they try anything funny, there will be a reckoning they won't soon forget. He huddled in his chair and grumbled as he picked fitfully at his sweater. Dunn was almost in a similar position. I had my problems too. Apparently I shouldn't have tried to use the loophole I figured out. Somehow Fred got wise and shut me down. He took me right back to day one. For the past year I was just a glorified peasant. I couldn't even go live in my penthouse. I had to live, eat, and sleep right there with them. I taught them everything the hard way. Had to constantly fix their mistakes. I tell you, there was no way for a god to have to run his area. In the end, I don't say we weren't on schedule, but I sure didn't enjoy it like you three did. I think we have to have a way to keep in touch with each other. I could have used a helping hand once I lost my powers, but did any of you give me a hand? No. Larry raised an eyebrow. Well, did you pray to any of us for help? I mean, that's kind of a god's telephone, isn't it? Don jumped to his feet. Pray to you? Pray to someone who's almost my equal? I'll pray to you. You should know when one of us needs help. Pray to you, indeed. I think you've gotten a swelled head. He marched off to the patio to have a cigar and a large whiskey and soda. Ash bowed and sat on the lounge chair beside his hero. He offered words of comfort and support. Much to his surprise, he was rebuffed since he had also not gone to help Don. Don banished him from his presence with an austere gesture of dismissal. Ash slunk away to the pool and walked on water for an hour. There were no stones, so he amused himself by running at top speed, belly flopping, and seeing how many times he could skip himself. He only stopped when he crashed into a wall, but he did feel a little better along with a sudden headache. The attendance for the evening meal was small. Don and Ash had room service. The rest ate, made small talk, and enjoyed each other's company. Gladys was amazed at seeing Jerry cheerful and confident. Surely she couldn't have had that great an effect on him. She wondered what could have caused the change. That night, Don had disturbing dreams. First was a dream regarding his charges. They had slacked off and were not only no further forward, but had even regressed in his absence. When he raged at them, they laughed and dismissed his anger. They felt he wasn't worthy of their reverence. He was dismissed from his position as a god and brought back to the facility as a spirit. Everyone there knew he had been a god, and he had returned humiliated. He thrashed around, throwing off the bedclothes. The spirits had encircled him and were going to pay him back for all he had put them through with his dominating antics. The dream suddenly changed, and a blinding light glowed with a dark center. The darkness formed into the vision of a robed individual. His higher being had entered his dreams again. Their tone was gentle, but still Don was frightened. How would he tell this being that he had been caught cheating and had to start over? The being began to question him. Have the others succeeded to your satisfaction? Well, luckily they hadn't asked about his parcel. Well, there have been a few hiccups, but I feel we are progressing on schedule. There should be no problem succeeding. The darkness seemed to grow even darker. Well, you may be satisfied, but I am not. You have only been on duty for a year, and you all taken a vacation? If your people progress so far that they can continue on their own? Don was unsure how to answer. Well, it's been a hard year getting things started. We just needed a breather. We'll still be going back tomorrow. The being became darker still. Don was certain that the being would send him back to the facility. He would be a spirit again, and the first dream would come true. Perhaps I chose unwisely when I placed my faith in you. I chose you as a leader since you showed promise to make things turn out as I envisioned. Now I'm not sure if you will succeed. Don stammered out his assurances. I promise we will succeed. You have my word. I will inspect the others' work myself, and if things are not progressing per the schedule we agreed on, then I will take action. I'll force them to succeed if I have to direct the people of the other places myself. There was a slight chuckle from the darkness. That is what I was hoping you would say. I have renewed my faith in you, and you will not regret your devotion to me. Together we will have the outcome that will succeed as I envisioned. Be diligent and all will go well. The darkness shrank and the light dimmed. Don woke still shaking. He had displeased his God, and that just would not do. Dressing quickly, he went to the dining room to wait for the others. Karen was outside on the patio in the lounge chair with a glass of champagne. She toasted to the success of her plans. Don was so eager to have the approval of his God that he was now willing to interfere in the other sections, even to the point of ordering around the people into disobeying their gods. Berthold refilled her glass and was suddenly gone to serve breakfast to the gods. Karen marveled, not for the first time, at Berthold's efficiency and speed. Well, better get going before the others find out I'm here. They might begin to suspect what I've been up to. She chuckled as she reflected on how new the gods were. Heck, I doubt they'd be smart enough to make the connection. She shrugged and left just as the rest of the gods made their appearances. Don was impatience personified. He was practically pounding on the table. About time you all showed. We need to get back to our territories and make sure our people stay on track. He glared at them as they leisurely sat and prepared to eat. Don was about to yell for Berthold when he appeared and placed an elegant breakfast before them. You need to be prompter. We're in a hurry. We got important business to attend to. Can't wait around here for you all day. Berthold had never been spoken to in that way. His feelings were hurt. Ash sided with Don, but the rest commended his promptitude and the care he had shown them. Their good nature softened the blow of Don's boorish behavior. Larry suppressed a laugh when he saw Berthold stick out his tongue at Don as he departed. Don and Ash finished quickly and departed, with Don admonishing them to get the lead out and not to return until 500 years had elapsed. The others found the food too delicious to hurry over. When they finished, they thanked Berthold again and headed out themselves. Berthold waved a hand, and the plates and cutlery were replaced with clean service. On the veranda, he sipped appreciatively at an aged brandy. He checked the God's Hall once more, making minor adjustments, drained the pool, covered the furniture, and made things ready for the next visit, all with a wave of his hand. Smiling, he departed to the club. He was sure Dionysus would be in residence, and he had some new stories to tell him. Okay, so the next chapter is Elapsed in Training. We're getting near the middle of the book, so that is all for today. I look forward to seeing you again on the next reading. Hope you'll be back. Do me a favor, leave a comment, something down there, so I know that, I'm not talking to myself. All right, I appreciate it. If you do like these, push the like button and subscribe. More coming, and then I'm working on a new book called I haven't come up with a title, but it's about a new shadow. I don't know if you know who the shadow is, but a new character like that called the Healed Avenger, commonly known as Soul Man, and his partner Flats. So, a shoe-based guardian of justice. Something different. Talk to you later. Maybe after this one, we'll start reading that. Look forward to seeing you. Remember to buy my books on Amazon, and they're you can get them at Walmart or anywhere. So take a look. They're out there. Not just this, but all my books. Look forward to seeing you on the next reading. Be good and be good to yourself. Bye-bye.